Flashback.
Yo le llamo ahora cuando salga de calle. Pasen el lapicero cuando terminan, ¿ok? Para la gente de atrás.
Una pregunta.
No tengo el tren, mi amor.
The state didn't want this out. Fraud inside Kentucky's transportation cabinet. Licenses issued without a driver's test.
It is an ongoing WDRB investigation, and tonight we hear from a whistleblower who says coworkers used her login to pull off this scheme.
The employees were being paid underneath the table.
They say sometimes
I immediately let my supervisor know about it.
truth hurts.
Did you ever think that this would cost you your job?
No,
And for Melissa Mormon,
I was angry for a long time.
this is one of those.
It hurts me that I'm talking about this and I actually like where I was working at.
Times.
I came into the office that day, my computer was shut down. I was told to go to the front door. Detectives came in, they interviewed me. That was it.
Mormon says she was fired 3 months after she sent this letter to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, blowing the whistle that workers at the NIA Center licensing branch were selling driver's licenses under the table to people who never took the driver's test.
Undocumented workers.
How did it work? What was going on?
The undocumented workers would come into the office in groups. They would provide them either permits or driver's license illegally. So they were bypassed without even taking the test.
How much?
$200 a person.
Up to 5 times a day, she says.
Was this an everyday thing?
Almost, yes.
I first reported on the driver's license fraud investigation in April after getting my hands on one of the state's revocation letters. We learned the transportation cabinet sent more than 1,500 of them in 5 months, telling drivers their license was issued in error and must be returned or they could be criminally charged. At the time, state officials confirmed at least 2 terminations, and ongoing state and federal investigations focused on the NIA Center in West Louisville and the E-Town license branch. But they denied all of our records requests, withholding 2,300 documents on the fraud. Mormon's story fills in the blanks.
I found out it may have been going on for a couple of years before it was found out.
We're told it wasn't as simple as people getting state-issued driver's license or permits without taking the test. She says 2 of her colleagues at the NIA Center approached her with a business venture, asking if she wanted to get in on the scheme.
I was asked to bring certain customers in, and they are brought in to me without signing in. And you would scan their documents as usual.
Documents made to look legitimate, like birth certificates and social security cards, according to the letter she wrote to the state. But a key to pulling off this scheme was making sure the required Homeland Security screening was never run.
I started getting these emails saying, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Are you doing this?
And that's where it unraveled. She says those workers were using her login, a password she says her bosses made her share, as all workers at the driver's license branch did not have their own. And Mormon was training to be a supervisor.
I'm not even at my desk because I'm doing various duties, or I'm not there for the day. So, things start kind of coming together. I'm like, what's going on?
Was it always undocumented workers?
Yes,
Every time?
every time.
It does not surprise me.
Adrian Trivedi helps people trying to obtain legal status, an immigration attorney for 14 years.
For those immigrants that don't have a pathway to obtain legal status, having a driver's license could mean the difference between getting home from work safely to their children, to their wives or husbands, and not for a relatively small price to be able to have that chance of avoiding deportation, even just for that day. They're willing to take it.
To Mormon, this license scheme exploited people.
I didn't want no parts of it.
Mormon says she wrote this letter with her boss on October 29th, and she spoke to detectives 3 months later. She was fired the same day.
Gut punch, yes. Very hard gut punch.
She was 2 years and 3 months onto the job, but she didn't technically work for the state. Mormon was a contractor for Quantum, a staffing agency that Kentucky hired to help fill positions in driver's license branches when they took licensing away from the county clerks.
Please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Mr. Van Staten, this is Gilbert Corsi from WDRB News.
The Michigan-based company did not return our calls or emails.
It hung up.
It's shocking. Why would an employer punish and take retribution on an employee that reported this wrongdoing?
Mormon story, now the heart of a whistleblower lawsuit going after both the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
She should be a hero.
And Quantum Solutions.
There's a failure to supervise these employees. There were obviously no checks and balances.
Kentucky State Police is on it. There are serious concerns, and we'll hold anybody accountable if they violated the law.
That's basically all Governor Andy Beshear would say as we pressed on this case in April. But there was a part of our interview that didn't make our prior report, and it may be important now.
Is there an immigration component to this?
Not that I'm aware of.
WDRB is fighting in court for the paper trail to be made public, uncovering who knew what and when. Sometimes the truth does hurt.
I was hurt and depressed.
But Melissa Mormon believes
I really would like to get my job back.
It will set her free.
The Transportation Cabinet has a deadline this week to respond in court on why it withheld every single document, 2,300 records from our request. We will keep you updated.
Where 3 people died in a crash caused by an illegal immigrant with a California driver's license. That illegal immigrant now facing 3 charges of vehicular manslaughter. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis wants Congress to take action to stop this from happening again.
You shouldn't be giving illegals driver's license. We don't allow that in Florida. California does. They've issued probably over 1 million licenses to illegals in recent years. But to have somebody like that on our roadways putting people in jeopardy, yes, criminally prosecute him, the illegal, 100%. But I think it's got to go beyond that. And I think we got to get tougher on this nationally. Ultimately, I think you're going to need the Congress to use the power of the purse and defund states like California that are sanctuary states and their similar cities.
This as Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker doubles down on support for illegals, signing a new law to expand access to financial aid.
What?
Illinois State Senator Selena Villanueva saying, quote, if you live in Illinois and are pursuing higher education, you should have access to the same opportunities as your peers. This law is about making sure no student is left behind because of where they were born.
So the issue here is that people point to this and say this tragedy could have been prevented. This person should not have had what is a privilege of a commercial driver's license. And it seems to me that certain groups of people behind allowing things like this feel that a driver's license is a right, that someone should absolutely have that. It dovetails into the concept behind the law, which is despite a scarcity of resources, if a human is on this soil, then they must be entitled to all of the same things that people who were here legally are. And at the end of the day, they're not. It is a scarce resource constellation that we're dealing with. Illinois is in the hole already $2.5 billion just for the last 3 years alone, and they're going to add in tuition now. That's all healthcare. And you go back to the driver's licenses, and the reality is that the vast majority of criminal behavior on the part of illegal immigrants actually do have to do with vehicles. And that, with the soaring death rates as well on the highway, that is a massive layer of prevention that could occur in addition to the implementation of enforcing these federal immigration laws. You get pulled over, you don't have a license, great. That's one more person that can be deported and make the roads safer and enhance the application of this mandate that President Trump has to keep America safe.
We need to stop the raids. This should not be happening in our city. It is not warranted.
Hey girl, bye. Hey girl, bye.
Of course, because he's taking her away from us. We wasn't ready. She's 7. She didn't deserve for him to be out drinking and driving. She was just on her way home from my mom's house. And if he wasn't out drinking and driving, she would be with us right now, and we wouldn't be at court. We would be at work, and she would be at school with her friends, and her mom would be at home with her family, with us. So we need justice. The laws need to be changed, and I don't want him to get out. He has 2 kids, and imagine someone taking their lives, him getting out, taking pictures, and try to leave the scene instead of trying to get her help. He didn't care. And so now we want to fight for justice for her.
The Highway Patrol says 45-year-old Arlen Monroy Salazar, originally from Guatemala, was driving without a license around 5 o'clock Thursday evening on Easy Street near the intersection of Crescent Drive when she struck a 12-year-old who was riding an electric scooter. In Florida, driving without a license is a misdemeanor, but illegal immigration is a felony. Jail records show Monroy Salazar is now being held for border control.
But if you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.